Okay, Edelyn. Hi, how are you? I've got your work up here, and I want to say my first recommendation is don't do it. I really think that there's a lot of reasons for you not to go in this kind of like Fright Night, kind of horror, um, B movie horror show kind of way. I think it's a mistake. I really do. I think you're pigeonholing yourself into a corner that you don't want to get into as a designer that's presumably introducing yourself to the hiring um, arena in design. And I think one of the smartest things to do when trying to brand yourself as a student designer is to try to be objective. And the reason I say that is because that's going to end up being your most versatile play. Okay, so if you're going to be a very objective designer coming out of graphic design, coming out of design school as a student, you're basically saying to the person who's looking at your work, okay, this is merely a mark to represent myself. I'm not trying to tell any stories. I'm not trying to, say, and the reason you don't want to do that is because on the surface, it's going to look like this is your specialty and this is all you do. Okay, so the example I like to use is this. As a student designer, you go out, you start introducing yourself to, presumably to different studios and ad agencies, etc. Or, on the other hand, you probably will also be introducing yourself to different clients. As such, a young designer wants to make themselves appear as versatile as possible. And I think that I think the obvious example would be to take this with the dead hand and the Fright Night typeface and say, okay, I am looking for a graphic designer that's going to design my next annual report for my company. And my company is whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a company, and it's not presumably something to do with Fright Night. It's a traditional, contemporary, traditional company. Okay. Let's say we sell air conditioner parts. All right. And I want you to do my annual report. I'm looking for a graphic designer. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to pick this graphic designer here or here because it doesn't appear to me that they're capable of doing what I need. And that's a very conservative business design communication. Okay. Let's take a look at form. Now, I don't think any of these are going to work. And for the main reason is that you're not thinking about resizing. And that's the reason why I'm so glad that you submitted this as a PDF, because watch what happens. I'm looking at this logo right here. Watch what happens when we back off. Okay, when we're up front like this, it's kind of easy to see what's going on. It's the skeleton hand with the Fright Night type, and then you have graphic designer which is really difficult to read. But just to exemplify that, look what happens when we shrink the logo. And this is one of my favorite things about using a PDF, is because we can do this, and it really nicely mimics exactly what I'm trying to say, and that is that this Edelyn, and please forgive me, Espiella, Espailla. I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name. It's such a fascinating name, though. I hope I'm not butchering it. I'm guessing it's Espailla. So, oh boy, please let me know, and don't be mad at me. I'm Maldonado, so I mean, I'm used to people hacking my name, so please, well, actually, you probably are too, so please forgive me. But anyways, but you see how your name's falling apart, and then graphic designer is completely not readable. And then even the skeleton hand is falling apart to the point now where you can't really tell what it is at all. Here, all of the graphics have fallen apart to the point where they're not usable. Okay? Recommendations from here, I would say, you're free to go forward with any one of these that you wish or you feel is going to be necessary for you to brand yourself in the way you envision. However, I recommend that you go to a more traditional logo presentation. I recommend always to student designers to try to think about just using a monogram and your name. I think that's going to be the best way to go. So you would have your monogram, EE, and then you'd have your name over here. Okay, that way you've got a horizontal logo and a mark, so that you've got the versatility of being able to use them together or separate. Okay, and I really think that's going to be a wonderfully versatile way to go. Again, let me just say, all right, let me do this real quick. Sorry, my dog's about to go off. I think there's a squirrel outside, but I just want to go here real quick. Let's go new window, and let's just say designers monograms, and then thanks Google for correcting my type. But here's I'll just go to the first site, Pinterest, and then we'll just look at it. Look how interesting these are. They're just really, really super interesting. And I think that if you look through here and you think about your letters and your names, and the cool thing about this is you're going to start getting ideas quickly. Sorry about that. Sorry, I'll stop for a second. Sorry about that. There's a squirrel outside the window. But anyways, where I was saying that the fun thing about monograms is they work so well for a designer. Plus, once you start getting ideas, it's like stoking a fire. It just builds and builds, and you really come up with some great ideas. But at any rate, that's what I recommend. And I just went to what was the search I did? Let me see. I just went to designers monograms, and I just clicked the first one, which happened to be Pinterest. So, okay, so that's where I'm at. Now listen, there's no reason for me not to give you full credit on this assignment, and I'm going to, because you've done everything you've been asked to do. I just want you to think about what I'm saying, and in terms of branding yourself as a student designer. So think about it, and let me know if you have any questions. Okay, thanks.